Pay for my vacation. I deserve it more than you. So there I was, finally planning my much-deserved vacation to Maui. I'd been saving up for months, working extra shifts, skipping nights out with friends, and keeping my coffee addiction limited to my home-brewed Keurig pods. No Starbucks for this guy? By the time I hit my vacation fund goal, I was practically counting down the seconds until I'd be sipping cocktails on the beach. That's when Linda entered the chat. Linda and I go way back. We met in college, and we're kind of work friends who somehow made the transition to post-college friends. She's one of those people who seems allergic to full-time jobs, but has a knack for showing up on your doorstep right when the pizza arrives. Linda is a self-described free spirit who doesn't believe in being tied down by the 9 to 5 grind. Translation: she hops from job to job, usually quitting because the energy was toxic or the vibe wasn't right. Anyway, the day before I was set to book my trip, I made the classic mistake of posting about it on Instagram. Nothing extravagant, just a sunset photo with the caption, "Maui, here I come." Within 5 minutes, I got a notification. It was Linda sliding into my DMs. Linda, OMG, that's amazing. We totally deserve a vacation, don't we? Red flag number 1. Now, I knew Linda well enough to interpret this as her opening pitch. And sure enough, 5 minutes later, she hit me with the bombshell. Linda, so, I've had such a rough month. Between dealing with my mom's dog-sitting emergencies and trying to avoid my ex at Whole Foods, I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. It's been non-stop stress. I could really use a vacation too. Any chance you'd be open to me tagging along? Just think, besties in Maui. I stared at the message, torn between rolling my eyes and laughing. Linda hadn't held a steady job for as long as I'd known her. There was no way she had the money for Maui, especially considering she'd spent the last few weeks ranting about how society shouldn't force us to work if it kills our souls. So I decided to play it cool and politely dodge the question. Me, oh yeah, sounds nice. But I've been planning this for a while, and I'm kinda looking forward to some alone time. Just a little me trip, I thought that would be the end of it. Silly me. Linda, haha, of course. But honestly, I think I need this more than you do. I'm just barely keeping it together over here. You don't know what it's like, having to navigate life without a steady income. You've got a real job and everything. Imagine how much harder it is for me. She actually thought she deserved my vacation. She was practically implying that my life was some kind of stress-free walk in the park because I, unlike her, had managed to hold onto a job. That was red flag number 2, but I decided to give her one last out. Me, Linda, I totally get that you're stressed. But honestly, this trip is something I saved up for, and I'd like to stick with my plans. Maybe you can take a trip sometime soon too. Linda, that's what I'm saying. This could be that trip. All you have to do is cover my plane ticket, the hotel, and food. I can handle my own expenses for stuff like souvenirs and tips. Now, I knew Linda well enough to realize that handling her own expenses was her way of saying she'd buy herself a keychain and maybe toss $1 into a tip jar once the entire trip was paid for. And she didn't just ask for a little help. She wanted me to play the role of her personal travel sponsor. So I decided to level with her. Me, Linda, I worked really hard to save up for this vacation. It wouldn't be fair for me to just pay for everything for you. Vacations are supposed to be relaxing, and if I'm footing the bill, it'd be a little stressful. Linda wasn't having it. Linda, wow, really? I didn't expect this from you, Ray. I thought we were friends. I can't believe you'd just leave me behind like this when you know I'm barely scraping by. She added a sad face emoji for emphasis, like that would somehow make her argument more compelling. I realized there was no way out except to tell her the truth as bluntly as possible. Me, Linda, I'm not paying for your vacation. Period. It's not personal, it's just, well, actually it kind of is. You've been bouncing between jobs for as long as I've known you, and it's not my responsibility to fund your lifestyle. If you want a vacation, save up for it like I did. There. That was that. Or so I thought. The next day, I got a text from Linda's mom, Janice. Janice is just as free-spirited as Linda, but in a more crystal healer and essential oils kind of way. Janice, hi Ray. Linda told me about the Hawaii trip. She said you weren't willing to help her out, which is surprising since you two are such close friends. Don't you think she could use a little escape? She's been through so much. I took a deep breath, trying to figure out how to politely tell Linda's mom to stay out of it. But before I could respond, Janice followed up with another text. Janice, besides, if you help her out, I'm sure the universe will reward you. Think of it as good karma. And, Linda's an Aquarius, which means travel is very healing for her. Apparently, astrology was her final argument. I thought about sending her a snarky reply, but settled on something more neutral. Me. Hi Janice, I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm still going to stick to my plans. I expected that would end it. But oh no. Linda went full-on choosing beggar mode. A few hours later, she went on a tirade in our college friend group chat, calling me out for abandoning her in her time of need. She made it sound like I'd canceled her trip, which made a few people in the group ask what was going on. Linda, it's just... I thought Ray and I were friends. Real friends. But he's just leaving me to suffer while he jets off to Hawaii. It's not fair. I had such a rough month, and he can't even spare a little kindness. One friend, who didn't know the whole story, responded with, Ray, if Linda's really struggling, maybe you could just help her out a bit. That's when I decided to lay it all out. Me, look, Linda's not struggling the way she's making it sound. She's asking me to pay for everything so she can go on vacation with me. Plane tickets, hotel, food, the works. I spent months saving for this trip, and she just assumed I'd hand it over. I'm not her personal travel agent. Silence in the group chat. Then one friend messaged, Wow, Linda. Seriously? Linda didn't respond to that. But the kicker came the next day when she sent me one final angry text. Linda, I hope you're happy, Ray. You've shown me your true colors. When I get my dream job and start making bank, don't expect me to share my success with you. A month later, I was stretched out on the sand in Maui, drink in hand, not a care in the world. I'd heard from mutual friends that Linda had finally landed a job at some local coffee shop, where she worked for about a week before quitting because, according to her, it was too corporate. So, in the end, I got my vacation. Linda got her new perspective, and we drifted apart. Every so often, though, I get a message from her, usually some meme about fake friends, or a vague post about how some people just don't understand the struggle. And honestly, I don't regret a thing.